What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be reviewing the mid-season draft that just occurred. It's obviously been a night for I think 17 or 18 lucky players to be attending and to be picked and selected in this year's mid-season draft. Ones that have proven to be very successful. Dry Newcomb has been one that's come through. Ned Long last year was very successful. Port Adelaide have had actually quite a good crop, I think, come through. Jed McEntee's obviously been our most successful selection, and albeit people don't really like his selection in the AFL side, but has warranted a couple of extensions so far. So he's been very handy when he has been in and around over the previous years. So who we've selected this year, well, let's hope they have a positive impact on the club. We'll get straight into it. The first selection was at pick 3, and Harrison Ram joins Port Adelaide. He is a 202 centimetre defender that has a developing rocking ability. Now, he's been at Glenelg. He was missed in last year's draft. Now, he was a very young prospect. He only turned 18 in December last year, and he's very athletic. He has a 6-minute 29 2-kilometre time trial at the state combine, which, if anyone knows how to do a 2 kilometre, that is absurd. That is it's sensational. So he's very experienced already at the level of sample, and I think he's been eyeing off a selection. He's very agile. He's versatile. I've seen from his highlights, he's very still. He knows how to read the air quite well. His intercept marking ability is fantastic, and he can play the one-on-one. And he's just a building. I think selecting him mid-season definitely helps. We obviously need a lot of backup, especially with Walsh being injured, and there's potential for him to even come through the ranks and play in the AFL, which is going to be fantastic. So I'm very excited to see what Harrison can bring to the football club. I think he's one that definitely was touted to go to a few other clubs. I know Essendon were very much in the frame to select him, especially with their injury stocks. So to get a homegrown boy, stick around, mid-season prospect, and he'll be very exciting to watch. And he's one to watch in the Maggies, and if all things are getting worse and worse as we develop through the later part of the year, and he plays some good footy at Port Adelaide, it could be a very exciting time. So we'll see with Harrison, but very much enjoying his selection there. I did just notice I'm saying very a lot, so I do apologise for that. But overall, great selection with Harrison Ram, which leads to selection at pick 11, which is Yuan McKinley. Now, he's a different prospect. He's obviously come from North Adelaide. He's a small forward / midfielder. Now, we know we have quite a few of those, but with Tommy Cochrane going down, I think that's a straight swap, which is very effective. He's 21 years old. He's got a lot of AFL traits, got a lot of speed and power, can burst through the packs, and reads the player really well. He's the type of player that I think you could get a lot out of, and one that I think he really has that burst of speed, and his ability to win the football and work in areas that it might have little space or create space. I think that's very important. So he went to he was originally from Victoria, but he came back to South Australia and played with the Roosters last year, as it says in the article here. So a lot of talent, I think, that comes with Yuan. Looking at his highlights, he knows how to read the footy. I know a lot of people will sit at home and like, do we really need a small forward midfielder again? And I'm just like, you know what? In the position that we're in with Tommy Cochrane going down, I think it's a solid pick. And I think he has a lot of ability. So it might be one that gets the short straw, but I think he's definitely in a good, strong, solid position to have a big tout. And it's very funny that he goes from North Adelaide and then joins Port Adelaide after the Maggies won on the weekend by 2 points against the Roosters. So almost like he's swapping sides. Pick 16 was our final pick in the draft. Now, everyone thought Jack Watkins was going to get a go, and I did actually think that Jack would get selected. I thought he was going to be, one of the first picks, to be honest, but he didn't get selected at all. And I don't know if Port Adelaide was scared to lose a top-up player, or they were just not really wanting his type of selection. I'm very interested about that, but Manny has been someone that we've selected, and he's a Central District product. He's definitely been one of the more prominent players in the district's area. He was under 18 state captain. He's been recognised with a few awards, including the Foss Williams Medal as the Sandfield's best player in the state game earlier this month as well. So he's been very unique in terms of his selection. He averages quite a bit of marks for a midfielder as well, 4.3, 23-year-old as well. So in that prime stage of his midfielding life, and I think with a name like Manny Libby, it's unique. And we like unique players in our midfield. Zach Butters, Connor Rosie, Jason Horne-Francis. They have names that stand out. Manny Libby will take some getting used to for the tongue, but one that I'm very much looking forward to with his selection. I think it's a good one. I think he's a damaging midfielder. He's one that really can utilise the footy really well, can break you on the lines, and really knows how to utilise the ball well. So I think with those prospects, and all three of them will have a positive impact at Port Adelaide, I feel, throughout the rest of 2025 and potentially under Josh Carr as well with 2026. So we'll see how it all progresses for them, but welcome to all three players. Looking forward to seeing how they excite Port Adelaide fans, and obviously the bye this week, so they'll be able to join the club, join in, get to know the game plan, and really develop their skills under an AFL club and see where they can develop and go throughout 2025. So it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, they join an elite list of players that have joined Port Adelaide for the mid-season draft. We've seen Cam Sutcliffe, Jed McEntee, Bryn Teakle, Quinton Narkle, Logan Evans was last year, who was fantastic. And yeah, we'll be keen to see if any of these players can make a sudden impact like Logan did last year as well. There you have it, Port fans. Just a quick rundown of our players, ones that some of you might not have seen. The highlights are all on the Port Adelaide Football Club website and YouTube, so make sure you check them out to really get to know these players. I know mid-season draft might not excite a lot of people, but this is a top-up that our list needed. Would have liked a tall forward if one was available, but I think bringing in Harrison Ram, that one excites me the most, because I know he was definitely wanted. I know he was someone that was looked at in the draft last year as well. So for these players to be coming in and can make an impact, definitely helps. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully the boys on the long-term injury list recover well. Jack Lukosius is back soon too as a tall forward, so that's going to help. And we'll be interested to see how everyone pans out. But that is the mid-season draft. Let me know in the comments below, Port fans, your thoughts about our selections. I can't wait to see how they all turn up at Port Adelaide. Thank you for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. Obviously a bye week this week, so not much content to come. There will be a special video come out Friday about Ken Hinkley that I'll be doing, so look out for that. The Glass Table episode is out already as well, so make sure you check that out. Me and Jared talking about footy and AFL stuff and having a bit of a laugh. So if you want light-hearted content, go watch The Glass Table, and yeah, let's enjoy this bye week off. Thank you so much for watching, Port fans. My name's Anthony, and as always, count the pair.